There are moments I can only describe as thresholds. Not dramatic, not loud, but quiet doors that appear in the middle of ordinary things. A brushstroke, a breath, the rhythm of my feet against pavement. It feels almost clinical the way I observe myself, like I'm both the subject and the witness, the patient and the doctor, noticing how thought interrupts breath, how judgment interrupts flow, how the mind tightens its grip the moment the body wants to loosen. When I paint, I see it clearly, a colour bleeding into another, a line forming without a plan, and suddenly I'm watching my own instinct try to shape what was never meant to be controlled. I notice how each stroke carries its own weight, how intention can coexist with surrender. I ask quietly, which part of me is leading right now? What am I resisting without knowing? And the act itself becomes a dialogue, a negotiation between impulse and observation. When I run, it's the same. The body moving before the mind can catch up. The pulse, the breath, the sweat. Each step a meditation in surrender. I want to stop. I want to control the pace. But something deeper says, keep going. Let rhythm carry what thought cannot. I notice how the mind quiets when the body takes over, how patience is practiced in every footfall, how resilience is discovered in the subtle feedback between heart and limb. And in meditation, there is no brush, no body in motion, no sound, only the silence that feels alive, the kind of silence you can't escape from, the kind of silence that asks, can you stay? Can you be here without fleeing into distraction? Here, observation becomes precise. I track the way attention drifts and returns, how tension can dissolve in a single exhale, how presence itself teaches me the cadence of being. I think this is what all three have in common: painting, running, and meditating. They strip me down to the core of myself. They hold a mirror to every impulse, to escape, to perfect, to control. And in that mirroring, I see who I really am when there is nothing left to perform. It's strangely vulnerable, not in the sense of breaking down, but in the sense of being witnessed by myself, by that quiet, unflinching observer who notices every flicker of resistance and doesn't turn away. I begin to recognize the subtle mechanics of my inner world, which parts lead, which follow, which pause, how mind, body, and spirit converse when I allow them space, how trust emerges as a felt experience, not an idea, not a goal. And maybe that's the real therapy here, not the act of painting, not the miles run, not the minutes spent in meditation, but the courage to sit inside my own humanness, to feel every raw, unpolished truth, and keep showing up anyway. What if healing isn't about erasing? What if it's about staying? With the mess, the awkwardness, the weirdness, the beauty, the ache, the release. Letting it all move through me until I can trust that being alive was always enough. And in these practices, I notice something else. The patience I extend to myself is mirrored back. The care I offer my body, my breath, my impulses, teaches me how to treat the world gently. The dialogue inside me becomes a template for dialogue outside. Trust becomes a living skill, honed in repetition, anchored in presence, observed without judgment. I am both student and teacher, both patient and doctor. I witness, I feel, I track. And slowly, through brush, stride, and silent breath, I learn the mechanics of being wholly myself, aligned, aware, responsive, and awake for now. This is the gift these thresholds offer. Not performance, not mastery, but the intimate practice of being here, fully. Learning how to trust, how to let go, how to follow, and how to hold everything that arises with steady, tender attention.